Welcome to the Resilience Reflex Show. I'm your host, Zaheen Nanji, where we help you make resilience your first reflex. So this is episode number 19, and we're going to talk about how to create morning routines so you can be more productive. Now, if you missed the last episode, number 18, we had a great conversation, Kathy and I, where we spoke about embracing change. And we actually went through a model that you can find in the worksheet if you go to my website that you see right here, zaheennanji.com/the Resilience Reflex Show, and go to episode number 18 and make sure you download the worksheet, because we talked about the universal cycles of change and the 7 phases that are in that model that will help you embrace change instead of doing what? Resisting it, right? You don't want that. So make sure you do that. Now, I wanted to let the viewers and the listeners know that next episode, number 20, we will be changing the name of this show. And we're going to call it Thrive in Life. Because thriving in life is all about resilience. And I think thriving in life is describing all areas of life and how to build that, how to build resilience, not only in life, but every area of your business too, because this is what it's all about. And I want to teach people how to thrive in their career, how to thrive in their business, how to thrive in different areas of your life. So we're going to do that. So on the 28th of February, where I would usually have my hangout, we're not doing that because we're going to be able to take the time and change the name of the show. So the next one will be the first Sunday in March, as usual. So we'll do it the first and the last Sunday in March. Okay. So are you all ready to know about the morning routines? And I'm going to share with you 7 tips. And again, I like to give away things in my show. So you can go to episode number 19 at zaheennanji.com, the Resilience Reflex Show, and go on to episode 19, click download, and also, or you can wait for the pop-up to appear and you can put your name and email there right away and get your download. All right? So I'd like to welcome my co-host, Kathy. Come on up and let the viewers know what you're all about.
Oh, thanks, Zaheen. And I really like the concept of the new show we're bringing on. I think that's going to be great. So, thank you very much. My name is Kathleen Caldwell. I am a registered holistic nutritionist and health coach. And in my practice, using very small, simple steps and simple tools, I help women to have more self-confidence, to have more self-esteem, to love themselves, and to bring more joy into their life. And if you go to my website at kathleencaldwell.com, there is a free guide that you can download that will give you 10 simple steps to help you transform your life, and also read my blogs for some tips, and also I have some really great recipes on there.
Ooh, nice. I love recipes, and I like the way you say that, how you help women with self-confidence and self-esteem and to love themselves, and that is all about thriving, isn't it, Kathy?
Exactly. Yes, you have to love yourself first.
That's right, yeah. And so this is why we wanted to change the name of the show and to make it more apt for the women that we want to help, which is, for me, it's helping you build your resilience so it becomes a first reflex. And for Kathy, it's to help you build your self-confidence and your self-esteem. And please go to our website and make sure you download that 10-tip guide. And I also have something that I'm offering, which is right here. And it's the 7 habits of resilient women. And it's also a guide. Okay, let's get into the show here. So why am I talking about morning routines today? I'm doing that because I've been often asked, Zaheen, how do you keep yourself so organized? You run a wellness center, you have your speaking career on the side, you have a family, and I also work. So how do you keep all that in balance? And to me, it's become so, like, it's so subconscious now that I just wake up at 4:45 in the morning, Monday to Friday. I sleep in on Saturday and Sunday. I gotta have some rest now. But I do that Monday to Friday, and it's become such a habit that if I don't wake up, then it doesn't feel right anymore. But it became a practice once I started, and that's the key, right? You have to be consistent. And in the download that I'm offering for episode number 19, it's not really talking about the tips that I'm going to give you today. That's not even on there, but it's a 3-week worksheet that will help you create your morning routine. So just to give you a little bit of my background, as I was trying to build my business while working full time and having a family, I'd be up, get ready, make lunches and everything, go to work, come back by 5, again supper and everything, being with my child, homework. By the time I'm done and laundry, I mean it's 10 o'clock and I'm exhausted. And I thought, when am I going to do what I love to do instead of just uh, feeling sorry for myself? And I hated that feeling. And that's when I decided, no, I'm going to wake up 2 hours earlier than what I do. Now, believe me, it was tough. I kept on pressing the snooze button, but, and I would sleep in. So believe me, it's tough. But once you start, and once you follow the tips that I will share with you, you will be able to make it a practice, okay? So I want to have Kathy share her morning, routine with us, whether it was in the past or now. And Kathy, do you agree that as a woman with, a child and family and business and all that, it's hard for us, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I have to say, I had 4 boys in 5.5 years. I had a husband who was out of town a lot because he was in sales. And the biggest thing that saved me was I had to plan. And as you say, I had to be consistent, and I'm still like that today. I make sure I wake up in the morning, and I've already thought about what I'm going to have for dinner that night, because there's nothing worse than getting to the middle of the afternoon or people coming home from work. What am I going to have to eat? But for me in the morning, I get up, I have my fresh juice because I love that. For me, with the 30 grams of protein in it, that's my kickstart for the day. That keeps me going till lunchtime. Also, I take my dog for a walk, which is wonderful for both of us. We get our time together, we get outside, the fresh air. And I have to have a little chuckle here because a lot of my morning too is trying to get my husband out the door. So I'm still making his lunch and getting him organized and getting him out the door too. So I'm still kind of in that phase, and that's fine. I love him dearly, but it's just the way it is, and I've always done it, and that's okay. That's fine. He gets his attention too, and we go off on our days. But for me, that sets my morning up, and then when I get back with the dog walking, then I'm ready to sit down and get to work. So it's good.
See what we have to do for all, for everyone and
everybody else.
That's good one, right? But it helps. I think it's okay if you're okay with it. Like I'm okay with it. It's because I want to be in control, right?
Yeah, that's
and
right.
That's how you feel, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But I think you do have to have a plan.
Yes, you are completely right. That's one of my tips, actually. That's good to brought that up.
Exactly.
So what do you think? I guess you and I have probably been questioned, um, what about the night owls, right? Like,
Yes.
what about if they have been doing fine, staying up late at night, would that be okay instead of waking up early in the morning? And I know before the show you were telling me about your husband, so why don't you share that with the viewers and the listeners?
Yes. As we were discussing earlier, Zane, my husband is a night owl. He's always been like that, where I've always been a morning person. Now, he's pretty good to get up in the morning because he loves his business. He loves what he does, so it's not an issue. But he's, as I said, he's always been go to bed late at night. I'm not like that. I like to go to bed, get what sleep I can, and I'm just always been ready to get up and go in the morning. That's always the way I have been. But
Yeah,
yes, I'm, I know, there is a large population of people that are night owls. Um, so
yeah,
what do you say to them?
I know, right? And that's the thing is, if okay, so I would share three things here, and the first one is, hey, if you're not a night owl and it's working for you, then fine, go for it. But there's so much research out there that have been saying that in the morning between the times of 4 and 10 a.m., your mind is more alert and your subconscious is more alert. And I think it's because we have taken that night to rejuvenate our mind and body. And we've actually, given it that rest that we feel more creative in the morning. So I think that's the first reason why they say that you're more alert in the morning. So even if you're a night owl, I would say, hey, you know what? Give it a try. See if it works for you. And if it still doesn't, then fine, do what you've been doing all this time, right? The second thing I would say is that I find that when as a woman who has a younger child at home, when I come home, I would like to spend that time with her, uh, with my family. But in the morning, I know she's asleep between 5 and 7, right? So before she goes to school and everything. So that's my time for me to get things done, to do what I love to do. So whether it's to meditate and work on my business, whether it's to meditate and exercise, whether it's to even make a meal for dinner during that time, that's my time. And I don't want to be disturbed. And I can get things done during that time. And so I guess I'm trying to say is, before the world demands of me, I want to control that time for me. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yes. Mm-hmm.
And the third thing that I've heard, this is not my viewpoint, but I've heard this from someone else, and she said it so nicely, and I can't remember her name, but she's a speaker in India, and she said, in your time zone, your the world around you is asleep. This is when no one really is, tapping into the Earth's energy in your time zone. So what that means is that you have enough energy to absorb now if you're awake. So you'll find that everything is so serene and quiet when you wake up between 4 and 7. And it seems like you have a lot of energy. Well, it's because you have so much to absorb in. And I've never thought of it like that, but it kind of makes sense. Yeah, Kathy?
I love that. Yeah, that's wonderful. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
I,
great.
I don't know if it makes, sense to others, but I know for me, I've always wondered, why do I feel like I have more energy in the morning, morning? And I always thought, well, of course I'm rested and rejuvenated, but I'm also very creative. My best work is done between 5 and 7 in the morning. And I always find, why am I so focused? And I think it's because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah,
you
that's
were
great.
saying that you found 5 tips from
Yes.
an article that you read. So do you want to share that?
Yes. Yes, actually, it's very interesting. When we had talked about doing the show, I did a little research to find out what tips successful people did, in the morning, and this was from Forbes, and it was successful people that got up well before 8 o'clock. They had all this stuff done before 8 o'clock in the morning. So the first one was, as you mentioned, exercise.
Mm.
And that can be just as simple as when you get out of bed, like doing a few push-ups, stretching. It just gets you focused for the day ahead, and get your mind in that right place for you to start with your day. So exercise was number one on the list. The second one was to do like a visual mind map of your daily tasks. And again, set your goals for the day, what you were going to work on, and, kind of lay out your plan for the day so you knew what you were going to do and what you were going to work on, which I thought was, a really great advice. Third was have a healthy breakfast. And as I mentioned earlier, everybody should have 30 grams of protein in the morning because it fills you up, it keeps you satisfied for longer. And, if you're well fueled with good, your protein, carbs, and fats, you're going to be a lot more productive. And, obviously enjoy your morning a lot more when you don't have to keep hitting the caffeine all the time. So that was good.
So then, Kathy, let's just recap. So the first one was exercise.
Exercise, yeah.
The second one was
plan out your day.
Right. So you want to plan your day, and the third was to have a good breakfast.
Hearty breakfast, healthy breakfast. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So what's number 4 and 5?
And number 4 is visualization or meditation. And again, the idea of starting your day where almost like that lady we're talking about, having that sense of peace and grabbing that energy in the morning, that time for you, and thinking about things, whether it's if you've got a situation going on, or focusing on what you're going to do again for the day ahead, what goals you want to achieve for that day of the week, whatever it is, but just the visualization and meditation to have that quiet time for that, that space in your head. So again, that's another great tip. I thought. Yeah. And number 5 is to do the top heavy things on your list for the day first. Maybe it's something, you don't want to do. It's undesirable. Get it out of the way first in the morning. Then the rest of your day will be easier and less stressful for you. And when you go home at night, you'll be feeling better because you got that one thing out of the way that you didn't want to do, so you can go home with a better attitude and enjoy your evening more. Yeah.
I strongly agree with that last tip, where do the things that are most difficult in the morning and get it out of the way. And I will tell you that every time I haven't done that, I feel like it's irritating me. And I just want to get it, like, why didn't I do that, earlier? Now it's stressing me more and more out. And I've learned that I don't like that feeling, so I want to do it earlier now.
Right,
So
exactly.
I totally agree with that. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So those are great, tips from the article that you just shared. And now I want to share my 7 tips. So
yes, I'd love to hear them.
Okay. So let's go with number 1. Number 1 tip is start small. And so I'm saying start small, meaning I don't want you to wake up like an hour early 5 times a week like the way I'm doing now, which is actually 2 hours early. But I started small. where I said, okay, I'm just going to wake up 2 times a week this week for about 15 minutes earlier than my usual time. So for example, if your usual time is 6:30, you want to just wake up at 6:15 and see how that feels, right? Um, and then chunk it up. So then the next week you want to do 20 minutes 2 or 3 times a week. And the week after you want to chunk it up again. So do that and do it slowly, because now it's attainable and it's manageable. When we start too big, too fast, it's overwhelming and then we give up, right? And that's just like anything else in life, exercise, diets, whatever it is. Well, same thing with the routine. Start small and then chunk it up. Does that sound good?
Exactly. Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
My second tip is have a plan. Okay, and what I call that is a ta-da list. Not a to-do list, but a ta-da, because now it's done. Ta-da! So with that, though, I ask that you make a list the night before. And the reason is, without a plan, believe me, you will hit the snooze button and roll over and go back to sleep. Right, Kathy?
Exactly. Yes.
So I have found that I always make my to-do list of what I want to do for the first 2 hours of the morning that I wake up. And when I do that, I know that when the alarm goes off, I have a plan and I'll get to it in the 2 hours in the morning. Okay?
Yes.
So now we're on number 3. The third tip is keep your alarm away from your room. So what do I mean by that? Well, like I said before, when the alarm goes off, sometimes you just want to sleep and you tend to press the snooze button if it's right next to your bed, on your bedside table. So I use my phone, which is this one here, and I set the alarm, and it's hooked up in the kitchen. So we live in a bungalow, and of course everything's on one level. But if you're in a 2-story, then you may want to decide to put it in your bathroom or something like that. So it's away. You have to wake up and walk down the hall or down into the bathroom. So mine's in the kitchen. So when it goes off, I have to get up, walk down the hallway into the kitchen, turn it off. So that's why you want your alarm away, because now you're up, right? You're not going to go back again. So that's my first 3. So my first 3 are start small, have a plan, and keep your alarm away. You want to know 4, 5, and 6?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Number 4 is, where are you going to place that to-do list or ta-da list that you made, that plan? Now what I do is, this is my routine. So my alarm will go off at 4:45. I'll walk down the hallway. I will turn off my alarm, and I'll turn on the lights in the kitchen. When I do that, I look at my ta-da list or my plan. And I go, okay, I have to do this, this, and this. Now when I'm looking at it, I will visualize it being done, and then I'll go and do it. So, again, if I didn't look at that plan or that list, I may forget, oh, what did I have to do again? Where's my list again? And I don't like that. I just like to be organized. That's why, people always ask, how do you get things done? Well, because I'm organized and I have a system in place, right?
Yeah.
So that's number 4. Okay, number 5 is the thing I was talking about, have a routine. So Kathy, you were saying that you have a routine, right? Where you have your juice in the morning, you make sure that you put the right amount of things in it, you take your dog for a walk, and then you get your husband out the door.
Yes.
Right? So when I say routine, it's the same thing for me, where when you wake up, I turn the alarm off, I turn my light on in the kitchen, then I go to the bathroom, I wash my face, do my thing, and then I actually go and meditate. But a lot of people may not do that right away. They may want to have some coffee first, kind of get their things going here, juices running. And that's fine too, but have a routine in place. Because then only if you keep doing that, you'll know exactly what works for you. And you need to tweak it. Like for me, I found that when I would go and meditate, I would sometimes fall asleep while I would meditate. And I decided then to start to burn some incense. So that smell would make me want to meditate. So does that make sense? Like, you know, having a kind of system in place, right?
Yeah.
And I've also mentioned that in the worksheet that you can download if you go to the website and to episode number 19. In the worksheet, I have said, where are you going to place the alarm? What is your routine that you're going to have? And if you want to follow mine, that's fine, but you may need to tweak it for you. Okay? So the sixth one now is have a system. So what do I mean by have a system? Have a system of what you want to do in the time that you have. You know, whether it's like, you know, Kathy, you were saying in the article that they exercise or they meditate and how they plan their day and visualize and have a mind map. Well, that's actually a system.
Yes.
And yes. Right? And for me, it is meditate, go work on the business. And then for each day, I have something that I do. So, you know, Monday is blogging and writing. Tuesday is emailing my blogs and putting it on, you know, social media. Wednesday is working on product and content. Thursday is catch-up time on those 3 days if I haven't done it. And then Friday is follow-up day with some leads that I have, whether it's to do with speaking, whether it's to do with conference chairs or anything like that. So you see how I have a system of what I want to do every day. And that's why I am organized that way and I get things done, right? That's and right. I'm not trying to, like, I hope I'm not coming across as, you know, oh, that's, you know, but I'm just saying that I have found a system that works for me. So it may work for you or you may have to tweak it, right?
That's right. That's right.
And if you don't have a business like the way I do, then it's okay. You can wake up and you can exercise for half an hour and meditate. You can exercise and maybe even if you're a mom of 3 kids or 4 kids, like, you know, Kathy was, then you can start to prepare your meals for the day. Like anything can be done in that time, right, Kathy?
Exactly. That's right.
Yeah. So let's just recap the 6 that we've done and we've got 1 more to go. So the first one, so Kathy, why don't you recap that for us?
Okay. Start small.
Yes.
Okay. Have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And put your alarm away from you.
Yes.
That's a good one. Plan placement.
Yes.
Have a routine.
Mm-hmm.
And have a system.
Yes. Okay. The last one, and it's good timing because we're almost done here, is your sleep time.
Yes.
So I know you night owls out there, you know, you're saying, I'm a night person. I can't go to bed between 9 and 10. Well, that's the thing. If you go to bed at midnight, you can't expect to get up at 5. Right, Kathy? Like, come on.
No, that's right.
So, yeah. I mean, even I would not be able to. But if you go to bed between 9 and 10, then that's a good time and you are getting good snooze between that time and 5 in the morning. And then you can wake up and do your things. And I have found for me, I have to be in bed between 9 and 10. How about you, Kathy? Because you too are a morning person.
Yes, 10 o'clock. That's it.
That's it, right? Yeah. I know. I can't think after 10 because my mind is so foggy. Yeah. So I need to go to bed at between 9 and 10 so I can get up at 4:45 and get my work done. And then the world will, you know, demand of me, like the way we discussed in the beginning. Well, there you have it. You got the 7 tips, and we have recapped it over a few times in the show today. And if you are watching on the Hangout, then thank you so much for taking the time to watch today. If you're listening on the podcast, then again, I appreciate you giving us your time. And so the Resilience Reflex Show, you can get the worksheet to the morning routine that we spoke about today. It's a 3-week worksheet to implement the morning routine that we have discussed today at zaheennanji.com. And you can go to episode 19 on the Resilience Reflex Show page and click download, and you'll get it there, or wait for the pop-up and put your name and email and get it there. And also remember, you can get the guide as well from there for free. So we're not going to have a show on the 28th, which is the last Sunday of the month, but we'll do another one here the first Sunday of March, and we'll bring you more information to help you make resilience your first reflex and thrive in life. Until then, goodbye. And Kathy, would you like to say a few words before we go?
As always, Zaheen, a great show, and it's a great topic. And, you know, like I always tell my clients, if you are, you know, have a plan and are organized, you will thrive in life. It'll make your life much easier.
Yes, that's right. So stop stressing and be in control.
Yes.
Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for watching and for listening. Goodbye.